This is debate on clauses 97 to 122. The question is a Part 3 stand part.
Mr. Chair.
Reno Cherukardini.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and we're now moving on to Part 3 of this very finely drafted bill, which has had many years of input from officials, from governments, both on this side of the House and the other side of the House, some 10 years in the making, and with some very good contributions made at the Select Committee to where we are today. Now, sir, we are on to Part 3, which concerns food imported for the purpose of sale. And as we've mentioned in other parts, it's not only the food that we produce from the bounty of our land and our sea, but also the imported food ingredients that form a vital part of our food industry, our food production. And so it's very... I am just scanning my eye over Part 3, and I do see here, sir, that at the end of Part 3 there are provisions relating to the Joint Border Management System, the JBMS, something that's very dear to the Customs and MPI at the moment, a very comprehensive computer system which will ultimately make ease of reporting and recording and facilitating the import and export of goods across the border. It is a major IT rollout system. It means that the businesses concerned have a single registration point whereby they can register and have a lot more ease of actually processing, and paperwork and reporting is all eliminated through a computer-based system where they can work through this JBMS system, and the key element to that is the trade single window. So, sir, clauses 122A and 122B feed into the JBMS, where border information supplied by the Joint Border Management System has to be supplied in an approved form and manner, and the duty to use the Joint Border there is a duty to use the Joint Border Management System to supply that border information. So it's good that this legislation, sir, aligns with that significant piece of information technology system which is critical. We can have all of the food production in this country and importation. Well, importation is really important, but we can produce all the food that we want, but we must have, it has to cross our borders, whether the inbound or the outbound, and we need to have ease of transacting of business for those companies that are involved, so it ultimately reduces the red tape. And so the Joint Border Management System is a key part of that, as mentioned in this Part 3. We know that there are issues around the implementation of that system. We are unsure as to whether an evaluation has taken place, but the system has cost in excess of $90 million, and we are still unsure about the effectiveness of that system and whether all aspects around the functionality of that system have been actually delivered by the IT contractor concerned. And I don't mean to be straying off from this bill, sir, but the JBMS is a central piece of a joint system between the MPI and the Customs, and it is contained within this Part 3, and therefore I did feel obliged that I should make those few remarks around that system. But this bill, sir, it does align with that, the IT systems. It's good that there is now a coordination between the actual food businesses, the actual importers that they will be dealing with, and the facilitation of the products that they will be using in their production of their end goods, which will ultimately be ending up in the pukus of us Kiwi consumers and also our customers in international markets around the world. And as I mentioned, the our food sector is the most important economic sector in terms of the value that it creates for our country, the exports. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Stephen Browning.
Mr. Chair, as I said before, I would like to speak